Oh wow, what do we have here? Am my eyes deceiving me? Is this another CL Mercedes? A CL500 in my driveway? Disregard the AMG. It's not an AMG. Somebody put that on there. Okay, back to what I was saying. Is this another CL in my driveway? A CL500. Look what I just picked up. A 2004 CL500. I'm gonna put it in the garage next to this one. I'm gonna pull the SL out. The reason why is because, well, look at the suspension. See how low it is? Of course, ABC failure. It's just what happens. It's just what happens. The SL, the CL, it's just part of life. So, gotta swap that out. Yep, I got it though. 2004. I think it has like 130,000 miles on it. I think 131. I got it at a steal price. That's the part of the advantage of knowing these cars, knowing the ABC suspension, knowing what goes on and what's wrong with these cars when they start to fail. The average person, the average owner who doesn't know any better, well, you know, that's the advantage that you have, is when you know, you're able to wheel and deal, you know, and get a great price on these cars when you buy them. The same thing I did with my SL. I was able to get this at a good price because the previous owner didn't really know how to deal with the issue. And the dealership was going to take them all the way up top trying to repair it. And they didn't want to put that kind of money into it. So that's how I got the SL, and that's how I got this CL. And numerous other Mercedes that I've had over the years. Just because, you know, the common folk just, you know, they're overwhelmed by the maintenance that's required on these Mercedes. So it creates an opportunity for avid Mercedes collectors like myself. So what am I going to do with it? I don't know, but I got it. Now, this is a 5.5. This is a 500. The previous owner thought it was cool to put the AMG on there. And on the backside, it has the AMG. But we all know it's not an AMG. They even put an AMG badge on the engine, on the top engine cover, but it's not AMG. But it's cool. Yeah, this is a CL500 2004, about 130,000 miles on it. Previous owner took good care of it until the suspension failed and it fell in my lap. You know what I mean? So that's what I like to do, man. I like to be able to get these cars for cheap. And I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do a coilover swap or if I'm going to repair the ABC suspension. But nonetheless, it drives great. It's a great handling car. I gotta replace the battery in this thing. A lot of the features are not working because the battery is dead. But nice car, man. Nice car. Nice car. For all my S-Class and CL-Class lovers of these years, this is why I don't tint my windshield. You see the purple hue? That's what you will get every time because it has a natural blue hue to the front and the rear. There's a silver line in the windshield. It's UV protection. It's some stuff that Mercedes has been using for years. They have the same thing over here on the newer S-Class. The W215. It has that bluish hue reflection in the front. It's brought out more when you have tinted windows. It gives off a purple look. The side has more of a mirror finish. So do these. This has more of a mirror. This has more of a blue, mirror, blue, blue, mirror, okay? And so that's why the rear looks like that too. So with the sky cloudy, you see it even more. Yep, this is crazy. Hold on. Oh, look like my garage gave birth to twins. Look at that. Yep. Yep. I like my CLs. Doesn't matter if it's a 5.5 or a 500. You can have a 600. You can have a 6.5. Is that right? CL6.5. Yep. All the above, bro. Excellent cars, man. Excellent cars. I think one of the most beautiful cars Mercedes ever made was a CL. And personally, I think they even have more character than the newest S-Class coupe. I was looking at those yesterday. They look like CLAs in the front. This right here, perfect. All right, so I am working on the 2004 CL500 that I picked up yesterday. Now, there's some obvious issues going on back here in the trunk. The previous owner said that the radio would not turn off and it was causing the battery to run to go dead. And so I replaced the battery with a new one. There we go. But I still have to figure out the issue, or else I'll be killing this new battery, just like the previous battery. So they said that the radio would not turn off. Now, when you power the radio off, it goes off. The head unit turns off, but you would hear some static coming out of some of the speakers. So there's something going on there. The audio system itself has some type of backfeed. That means that there's power going to something that it should not be going to, and thus sending a signal to the speakers. Now, they also said that the trunk, that they got the pump fixed or replaced, and it still will not automatically shut and open like it's supposed to. Now, are those issues related? You would think it's not, but I think it is. There's water entering this trunk. This seal is compromised. There's water entering the trunk. There goes some water right there. Can you see it? Okay. Water right there. It's wet down there. It's hard to see, but there's some moisture deep down there in the crevices down there. There's water up under the tire that I saw when I lifted it up. See, there's some intrusion right there. But here goes the kicker. You see all these electronic components for the audio system, such as the CD changer, the navigation system reader, also the amplifiers down there. Well, look what else is down there. A whole lot of water. See that orange stuff? That's sitting water that's been down there for quite a while. And guess what? Water and electronics do not mix. I can't even talk. Water and electronics do not mix. So evidently there's a short somewhere. It's been sitting down there for a while because it's like the color of rust, it's orange. And on the other side, there's also apparent water sitting up under the battery where the pump is. It's not an issue I've never heard of before with the CL, but it has to be corrected, or else this is what happens. So what I have to do now is remove all of that stuff. Some of that stuff is probably damaged, or at least the connectors are damaged. I'll check them out, see where the corrosion is present, but it's obviously causing a short and causing backfeed to the speakers. And also on the head unit, it says that it's not operative. Like when you try to turn the radio on, it will come on, then it'll say something about unavailable or cannot operate or no communication or something like that, and it turns off. So I think I found the culprit. I will disconnect and pull all this stuff out. I will find where the leak is coming from. I will remove that battery. Before I do all that, I will unplug the battery because I don't need voltage running back here to do this. I can manually open the trunk with the key. So I will disconnect that battery and I will get to removing. So that should solve that issue with the drainage, the voltage drainage, the drain. And hopefully I can find the drain, the water. I can drain this water up out of here and prevent water from coming back in. So, all right, that's my project with the 2004 CL500 that I bought yesterday. I guess I like CL500s or just the CL body style, the W215. Man, today's been a long day. I didn't get enough sleep last night, so excuse my slurring, my slurish speech. But there goes the CL55, and here goes the CL500. More to come. So check this out. This is the water that I was pointing out. Look how much water is sitting in here. Look at these electronics. Look at this. Just sitting in water. Look at that. And they wonder why the radio doesn't work and why they're getting feedback into the speakers. All this is compromised. It's trash. All of it's trash. Now let me ask you guys this. I know that there's drain plugs inside of the trunks of every Mercedes. There's these rubber drain plugs. There's a round hole in the bottom, on the sides, up under the tire, and there's a rubber plug. What is the purpose of the rubber plug? Because these are drain holes. So when water builds up like this, the water runs out. But when you have a rubber cap or rubber seal or whatever on the drain plug, it causes this to happen. Now if that rubber, let me find it. If it wasn't there, then this wouldn't happen. So why is it there? Why do they close it off? Look at all that water. These electronics would continue to work if that plug was not closed. Gosh, it's disgusting. What's the purpose of that? What's the purpose? Well, I have a drain plug, but have it plugged up. I don't get it. I don't get it. Yep, what a shame. Look at all that rusty sediment. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. You see it right here in the daylight. Look at all this stuff, man. Just destroyed. It's crazy. That's crazy. No good. No good at all. Trash. All right, well, I was able to save, I think, the CD changer and the navigation DVD player. That stuff was dry. That looked good, but I'll, inspect that a little closer. But that was sitting up high. Anything that was down there, it's over. Now, let's come over here. I pulled the battery out. You see what I got going on here. All right, that motor's no good. Thankfully, I have another one. Yeah, I do. I have another one in the basement. One that I removed from, I think probably the CL that I had took apart years ago. I still have that pump. Oh, man. Let's get this lifted up out of here. Look at that. Look at that. Ew, that is disgusting. That is disgusting. Words to the wise, catch these leaks before they get to this point, man. Look at that. Yep, that's no good. And I wonder why this doesn't work anymore. It's all related. God, stop beeping at me. Dang. Anyways, neighbors always want to beat when they come past and crap. I want to see what I got going on. I know they're just saying hi. I'm just being a jerk because I'm tired and irritated. But I just have a neighbor that always comes over and talks to me. He just always takes up all my time. When he starts a conversation, he doesn't know how to end it. It's all right. Love your neighbor, right? Love God. Love your neighbor. All right, I need some sleep. Okay, so I found where the primary leak is coming from. And this is an issue that I've had on some previous CLs. These rear tail lights, they have a seal, kind of, sort of. And so I used to think, let me see if I can put this down somewhere without doing damage to my lens. I can't put it down there. Hold on. Let me put it right here. All right, let me explain this. Okay, so this seal right here is supposed to, once this is tightened onto the car, it's supposed to prevent moisture from seeping into here. But over time, this thing shrinks, right? It pulls away, right? This used to be glued to this one right here. They just eventually come loose. Shoot, I don't even know if it was glue. Maybe it was just one piece, but they always split right here. And what it does is it allows water to get into here, and it runs down into here. It collects. all across the bottom. Sometimes you get rust at these connections. Like if I took this light off, let me see how bad it is. Sometimes you get rust, okay? But you'll get some corrosion and it'll prevent it from having conductivity right here. But looks like this one is okay, but it is wet, so I will clean that up. But yeah, so that water was getting down into the car, into the trunk, because of this. All right, there was a lot of water sitting in there, just sitting. You can see the settlement in there, but there was a lot of water in there when I pulled this tail light out, and it was just pouring out. And then if you follow the trail of water, hold on. Yeah, it's all wet all across this bottom here. Water was just sitting here collecting. You see it, there you go. You see in there? All right, you see all that corrosion? Yep, that's just from the water sitting in there. All right, running down here, collecting in here. All right, so what that does is it allows water to get in right here. Where's my flashlight? Because water gets down in there. I don't know where you can see it. Okay, there you go. Yeah, water gets all down in there. And then it runs right down there. Yep, and then it collects down there. Also, you'll get some water running right here, because you can see some of that corrosion. Let's see. With the carpet and everything right here, it'll collect a little bit of run down in here. These right here have plugs. This is a drain hole right here too. Okay, it's hard to see, but without the camera, without the flashlight. Let me find my flashlight. Okay. So that's the drain plug right there. And then there's one over here on this side as well. So water was sitting in there, Water was in here. There was a drain plug right there. Drain plug right there. I removed the rubber caps. There's a drain plug right there. I removed the rubber caps so that all the water could run out. You can see it down there. There was a drain plug up under the battery, up under the pump. You know, these drain plugs, they have like a little tiny hole as if that's going to let the water drip out. But what it does is you have just dirt and grime and just crap that just fills that little hole and it clogs it. And then there you go. So Mercedes would do better if they just left the hole unplugged. And I mean, I guess you worry about stuff from up underneath the car coming up, but guess what? It will drain out. So unless you're sitting in snow, and it doesn't matter, it'll drain out. That's the whole purpose of having the drain plugs. Whatever comes inside, however it comes inside, it will drain out. So I feel more comfortable having that hole totally uncovered than to have a rubber cap or whatever, a rubber drain plug with a little tiny hole that won't even work. On my CL over there, I remove those plugs because there's just no purpose of having them there if they're just going to clog up and then mess up your electronics. All right, so that is the primary way that water is getting inside my car. See it down there. Just running down there. All right. It was okay over here, just a little bit of drainage, but it was running out. You can see it down there. Okay, so this has some too. Kind of hard to see. But there's some water down there too. And it's just good to go ahead and, like I said, remove those plugs, and then I'll fix the seal on those taillights and prevent that from happening. I had to do the same thing over there. I think I had to glue that foam gasket together so that water couldn't, you know, penetrate and go inside. So just something to be aware of if you get water inside. This right here, just over time it hardens and it pulls, retracts, and so that's why you have a gap right there. That's an easy fix. I'll be able to fix that. I mean, just by having tension and repositioning it, it allows it to contact, but eventually it pulls back away. But I'll be able to fix that. Let me see, is there any other compromise part of this? Yes, right here. So you got that right there. I can fix that. All right. And then these right here are brittle. They're pulling away. That's supposed to kind of irrigate the water down away from it, kind of give it a way to travel, prevent it from running inside the tail light. But we know that over time that gives way. Same thing happened to mine over there. So always keep these right here cleaned out, clean that out routinely so that water doesn't sit in there and then find somewhere else to go. Just always try to keep that crack clean. Same issue here. All right, it's nothing. I removed all the electronics already. Everything is good. I experimented with the pump. Here goes the one that was in the car. It's done. It's dead. It's totally dead. It's no good. I disconnected it. I connected this one to the power supply, to the plug of the car, and you activate the buttons, the close trunk, the pump comes on. But you see here that this is has a leak. The rod, this is located right here. This is the one that's on the vehicle already installed. This part of the rod extends out. It uses that hydraulic fluid that's inside the pump there. This right here, this piston extends out and then pulls that back in when you close the trunk, and that, you know, that's what closes the trunk. It raises the trunk, it closes the trunk. But these always leak out, and there's a way to fix that. You gotta drill a hole, replace something, some kind of O-ring or something like that. But it's a common problem. They eventually all leak out. Like this one probably leaks out. But what I'll do is I'll clean this connection up right here. These right here, I'll clean those up. I'll reconnect it on this one, since this pump works. And I'll see what it does. If it leaks out, then I know that either I have to keep access to this. I can't put this up under the battery. I have to keep access to this so that I can keep it filled up when it does run out. And what it'll do is it'll leak that same kind of fluid. It's like a hydraulic fluid, same as transmission fluid. You can supplement it with transmission fluid. What it'll do is it'll leak down here and it'll actually run out of that drain plug, and you'll get drips up under the car. But hopefully, you know, maybe the seal is good and it doesn't leak out like that one does. That leaked out as soon as I activated it. It started leaking out. So that piston rod is no good. We'll see if this one is any good. But, you know, that's the way I experimented to see if it's still power is still being supplied to the pump. And if it is, then the pump is bad. And in this case, the pump is definitely bad. Doesn't it look bad? Yeah. Yeah, it's done. This one is good. All right. This one evidently has some moisture on it. I remember now, I got this pump right here from an S-Class that I had bought. It was like a S55 maybe, I think. But whatever, it was an S-Class that had that auto shut, you know, closing trunk or whatever. All right, so I removed all this just to make sure, just to see what I had. I see that one of these modules or telecommunication modules or antennas or whatever, either for the GPS or for the navigation or something, well, that's the same thing, GPS navigation. That one is not here. Don't know if it was here and somebody removed it or if it just was not an option on this car. But I do have extra one. I do have an extra one downstairs, but I don't know if I even need that. I think one of them is for like the telephone, if it has a telephone hookup in the center console, a part of the armrest. And then I think one of them is for that. It's the antenna for that, and the other one is the antenna for the GPS for your navigation. And I know this has a navigation option. I removed that navigation DVD player out the trunk. So that's not a big deal. Who uses those phones anyways? I think Motorola or some crap. Like, it's not even serviceable. So retro. I removed this back lining right here, trunk lining, so I can gain access inside of here because I'm gonna run cables through that back seat opening. Let me see. Can you see it? All right. Where you see the back of the seat right there, that foam padding, that's the back of the seat. So I'm gonna remove that back seat. That'll give me access inside the car, the cabin, and I'm gonna run wires These wires right here consist of what I need. These are the wires that will run to the, well, it runs to the subwoofer right above here. It also runs to the individual speakers inside the doors. So that will allow me to run these wires through there, like once again, all the way up to the front to the aftermarket deck, and that will give me the connections that I need, again, to each individual speakers and to this rear subwoofer. Now, my last install on my CL500, I removed that subwoofer, but I'm going to hook everything up to the factory, to the aftermarket radio, and see how that subwoofer sounds, and I'll just leave it in there. It's a nice subwoofer. This is a Bose system, so it's not cheap. It's not really outdated. It's good quality speakers. So as long as all the speakers sound good, I'll be good with that. So like I said, I'll run these, extend these wires all the way up to the front to the new deck that I'm going to install. So that'll be easy. All the wires that you need are in here. And you even have a remote turn on in there. So you have an option back here. You also have a remote turn on from the cigarette lighter up front that you need in order to hook up your radio. Anyways, you can extend that wire back here, or there's one back here you can tap into. I think it's like black and yellow or something like that. Anyways, so I'm gonna have some fun with this right here. This is what I enjoy doing, man. I love the CLs. I understand the wiring. I understand what needs to be done to it. A lot of the preventive maintenance. I've had some good experiences with these cars, man. That's why I keep buying them, I guess. So again, if you have a leak in your trunk, just know that this right here is a very popular culprit, a reason why you get water built up in your trunk. When this foam seal right here is compromised, it allows water to get in there, and it leads to problems. You'll get corrosion, you'll get rust. Sometimes your tail lights, you'll have bulbs that say that they're out up on the dash, but you come back here and the bulb is good. Well, you have corrosion, you have rust. It's not making contact. So keep that in mind. All right, keep that in mind. Double check your tail lights if you ever had those issues. If you ever have water that is inside your trunk, look at those tail lights. All right, and of course the obvious things. All right, we'll talk. We'll talk. We'll talk. We'll talk again. We'll talk later. We'll talk soon. We'll talk. Peace out. So in order to repair these taillight gaskets, they're foam, and over time, as they shrink, they come apart at this seam, this common seam right here, and allows water to get inside and to cause damage, corrosion, and rust, often to the connectors for the bulbs along the bottom here, and it gets inside the trunk. In order to repair that, I've already repaired one. You have to remove this carefully without doing any further damage, without tearing it. And usually it comes right up. You just have to take your time and pry it away from these parts right here that stick out. The screw, this right here, that right there. Pry it up slowly. Remove it. You see the back side of it right here. You can see here where they used to be connected, and they're no longer connected. It wasn't designed to be separate like that. You could tell that it's separated. So you have to glue it back together. It's easier to do it with it removed than it is to leave it on there and try to glue it together because there's too much tension. So remove it all together, ultimately. Take it off, lay it down flat, glue it together. So again, I already did this one. I removed it, glued it. And now that's a permanent fix. It's not a temporary fix. And the reason why it's a permanent fix is because I use this. I use the Gorilla Super Glue Gel. I use this so much. I order this all the time. I order it on eBay. You get it from AutoZone, Advanced Auto Parts, O'Reilly's. It costs a bit more. You can save you a couple bucks if you just buy it on eBay. Amazon probably carries it as well, but I'm more of an eBay shopper than an Amazon shopper. I only use Amazon if I need something like tomorrow. And most of the time, even as a Prime member, when it says it's coming tomorrow, it usually comes the following day. So I don't buy into that hype. But I try to get it as soon as possible, but I try to buy it before I need it. So I already have like 2 of these here, for when I need it. When this one runs out, I have another one. But before I run out of that one, I order more. I use it so much on Mercedes. Y'all think I'm playing. I use it so much on Mercedes when it comes to gaskets. Like I just repaired that trunk gasket. You know what, let me show you that. But I just repaired a trunk gasket that has separated, that was allowing water to get into. This is great on rubber, foam. It is a permanent thing, like it's waterproof. I believe it to be waterproof, shockproof, some other proofs. Very good, very, very, very good. The gel is ultimate. Like I love Gorilla products. I use their tapes, I use their gels, their glues. I use all kind of stuff from Gorilla. I love their stuff. Very, very good. Speaking of that, there goes the Gorilla tape right there. I love that black Gorilla tape. Anyways, I'm gonna show you real quick the trunk lining that I use also. That repair right there, I pulled it off and glued it, kept tension on it until it hardened. I did the same thing. This had a hole right here. I repaired that. That's never coming apart. Just, you know, things like that that you can see that will allow water to get inside the trunk. Get some of that Gorilla glue. That stuff ain't no joke, man. It's good stuff. You see here, I have all the audio stuff pulled out still. I removed the fiber optic cable, whatever it's called. Optics, that's telephone service and internet service. Anyways, fiber optics, not optics, not Cincinnati Bell. I removed the fiber optic stuff up out of there as well. And I already pulled out the radio, and I'm going to insert or install rather this double DIN right there. It's a nice little, is that Kenwood or Pioneer? Okay, it's a Pioneer one. I already ordered the dash kit that allows you to just put it right back in, right in there, like how I did on this one. Hard to see it, but just like I did there, I'm doing the same thing here. I just realized, you know, a lot of people, I've read on some forums and some discussions about some people not having a Bose system in their cars and their CLs, and I thought they all came with a Bose system. Well, I found out this is not the Bose system. So these speakers, I don't know what brand it is, but it ain't Bose. It's not the upgraded system. So it still has a subwoofer in the back, I believe, but it does not have the Bose insignia or logo on the speaker cover. The radio itself was way simplified, more simplified than the one that came out of my CL500. The plug on the back was very simple. It didn't even have an antenna jack. So when people used to say, like, where's the antenna, where's this, where's that, I didn't understand what they were talking about. Like, but now I know. The radio on the back of this, the back of the radio that was in this car right here is super simple. This had the simplified audio system, not the upgraded Bose system. I don't know how the speakers are going to sound, but we'll see. Anything is better than nothing. You know, if they need to be upgraded, I'll worry about that. But this is just a CL500. It doesn't have all the toys that some of my previous CLs had. No backup sensors, front sensors. Like I said, a simplified audio system. It didn't have, there was a couple of things that were missing in the trunk that I was used to seeing. So whatever, I don't really care. All that stuff had to go. And so I'm upgrading it to make it a nice sound system. I might even throw some subs in the back of this. I got some extra subs, extra amplifiers laying around. So I'll probably do that too. This would be a nice ride though. I'll put some nice aftermarket wheels on here. Figure out what's going on with the ABC system. Put a nice grill on the front, a new grill. So this grill will be for sale. You see the chrome is starting to peel right there. It's still there, but it's starting to lift in a few spots. So I don't like the gray grill anyways. So that has to go. It makes the car look older than I want it to look. I don't care about original. I'm way past that. I want it to look good. The car itself is beautiful though. I can leave it in its original form, but that's not my style. Those wheels are boring. Those have to go. That grill is boring. That has to go. Not my style. If you keep it that way, cool. It's a beautiful car. No disrespect, but not me. Do I like that tint on the top of the windshield? The little sunblock tint right there? No. I don't like tint on the front windshield of these cars. It's, like I said, they look purple because of that silver film. That's the lamination that Mercedes uses on the front and rear windshield on some of their model cars. Give off a blue hue, so when you put tint on it, it looks purple. Not a fan of that. To me, that looks aged. I don't like tint on these windows. It looks like old tint. They always look purple to me. Ah, well. Still a nice car. I'll keep you posted as I continue to make mods and changes and repairs. Yeah, that's got to go. So, if it's not an AMG, don't call it one. Don't put these emblems on there. It's not an AMG. I don't care how bad you want it to be an AMG. I don't care if it comes with the AMG body kit. An AMG is an AMG. If it's not an AMG, it's not an AMG. Stop fronting, man. I mean, we want it to be something that is not, but if it's not, it doesn't matter what you want it to be. Enjoy the car for what it is. These Mercedes are nice cars, but an AMG is an exclusive automobile. It's the next level. So don't front. If it's not, then it's not. Don't fake it till you make it. Just don't fake it at all. When you make it, you make it. Enjoy your car, man. Stop fronting. All right, so I have the AMG badge removed because I don't do that. So I got that off. It took some PB Blaster after removing the emblems to get most of that adhesive off, the double-sided tape. It was that cheap white double-sided tape, so that's easier to get off than the good quality gray 3M, the type that comes on there originally if you had an original AMG, and all the emblems and body trimmings or whatever. They use that high-quality 3M gray double-sided tape. So I got that off. Now I'm taking this pinstripe off. Pinstripes are old school. On a nice black modern Mercedes, you do not want a pinstripe. Not my style. It was somebody's style, but it's not mine. So I'm taking that off. Now, you know pinstripes are hard to take off once they've been on there for years. So I'm using this blow dryer right here. All right, you let that get real hot. The hottest setting, let it get hot. It softens it up, and then you got to use your nail to scratch it off. And it still leaves the adhesive, but I put the PB Blaster on there to get the rest of that off. You can use WD-40. I just happen to have PB Blaster on hand. Spray it, let it soak on there, let it saturate, and it will come right off real easily. With your nail, don't use anything metal, don't use plastic. Use something soft like the human nail. It will not leave scratches on your paint. Plus, with the PB Blaster, it causes it to be a slippery surface. So your nail kind of glides right across that paint. And if it were to leave any kind of scratches, which it likely will not, a nice buff job will get it out. But with your nail, it should not leave any scratches. And it comes off very good. So I did the other side already. Let me show you. By the way, they had a pinstripe running the whole length of the car up to the fender. I already got this part of it off. It had like a little Mercedes little emblem right there. You might be able to see that. That was cute for her, the previous owner, but not for me. But you see on this side, it all came off very nicely. All right, so it's a little bit of work involved, but it's worth it. Get that pinstripe up off of there, man. Too nice of a car to have a pinstripe, you know? And again, if it's not an AMG, don't put that crap on there, man. There's nothing wrong with having a CL500. It don't have to be an AMG for it to be a nice car. That's putting out false pretense, man. Don't do that crap. If it's not an AMG, it's not an AMG. That's an AMG. That's why it's on there. This is not an AMG. So it does not belong on the car. So I still have to get the rest of that off. That's baked on there pretty good, but I get it off. It's just hardened, you know, from around the emblems. Just settlement and crap that's just been sitting on there. They've obviously had that on there for a long time. Somebody was fronting. But it's coming out nice, man. Coming out nice. Keep you updated.